You meet someone, they say all the right things, they show up, they smile, but still, something feels off. And then there's another person, quiet, subtle, not grand in gestures, but when they're around, something inside you softens. Why? Love, in its truest form, often wears a disguise. It doesn't shout, it doesn't parade, it doesn't constantly demand attention. According to Carl Jung, the Swiss psychiatrist who revolutionized the way we understand the soul, true connection reveals itself not through words, but through symbolic behavior, not through declarations, but through the unconscious signals that bypass logic and speak directly to the heart. In a world obsessed with performance, where people equate loud passion with love, Jung invites us to look deeper, to see the invisible threads of devotion woven quietly into everyday moments. This is not the kind of love sold in movies. It's the kind you feel when someone listens to your silence, when they protect your vulnerability, when they simply stay, especially when you're falling apart. In this video, we're going to explore 3 profound truths based on Carl Jung's insights that will show you exactly how real love behaves. These are not rules or surface-level dating tips. They are rooted in analytical psychology, in archetypes, projection, shadow, and individuation. They go beyond red flags and take you into the deep, soulful terrain where love either thrives nor disappears. You'll learn how to decode the quiet presence of a person who truly sees you. You'll understand the psychological test, both literal and metaphorical, that reveals how someone feels about you when no one else is watching. And perhaps most importantly, you'll learn the difference between being needed and being genuinely cherished. As we journey through this together, remember Jung's words. The meeting of 2 personalities is like the contact of 2 chemical substances. If there is any reaction, both are transformed. So, if you're ready to explore how real love transforms, stays, and reveals itself in ways you might have never noticed, keep watching, because the most authentic expressions of love are often the ones we overlook. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for. The silent language of love. They say love speaks, but often love listens first. Carl Jung believed that the unconscious speaks in symbols, and when it comes to love, those symbols often emerge through behavior, not speech. To truly see if someone loves you, don't listen to what they say. Watch how they stay. In Jungian psychology, this is known as affective intuition, a subtle soul-level knowing that goes beyond logic. It's the feeling you get when someone's presence alone calms your nervous system, when their body language speaks safety before they ever say a word. True love doesn't start with passion, it starts with attunement. A person who truly loves you may not flood your phone with messages or make grand romantic gestures. Instead, they may show up when you least expect it, and especially when you need it the most. They notice your silence. They sense the tension in your voice. They offer you space, not distance, and presence, not pressure. Imagine this: 2 people are sitting in a room, no words exchanged. One of them feels seen, held, understood, as if their inner world is being quietly mirrored back to them. That's not chemistry, that's not charisma, that's resonance. Jung called it the alignment of archetypes, when 2 unconscious minds connect beneath the surface. This is the silent language of love. It's the person who remembers your strange little rituals. The one who doesn't rush to fix your pain, but sits with it. It's how they protect your inner child without even realizing they're doing it. And often, they don't even know why they care so deeply. That's because real love is rarely a choice. It's an unfolding. Something in you awakens something in them, and both are changed in the process. Jung said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate." In the realm of relationships, the unconscious reveals itself in how someone responds to your wounds. Do they flinch? Do they withdraw? Or do they move closer, gently, without invading? A person who truly loves you doesn't love the version of you that's curated and polished. They love the parts you hide, the parts you don't know how to articulate. They are not afraid of your darkness. In fact, they may feel called to hold it, not because they want to fix you, but because they recognize it. It's not a performance, it's a soul agreement. There's a subtle moment, you might miss it, when someone puts away their phone just to be fully with you, or when they slow down their breath to match yours without realizing. That's not training, that's unconscious empathy, a form of attunement that can't be faked. In a world where love is often measured in text messages and timelines, this kind of love feels ancient, archetypal. It belongs to the timeless realm where lovers don't just fall for each other, they return to each other. And sometimes the most powerful "I love you" is not said aloud. It's in the way they remember your father's name, in the way they bring you water when you've had a long day, in the way they stand beside you when you doubt yourself without offering advice, just presence. That's the key word, presence. Jung taught that presence is one of the deepest gifts of the self, the fully integrated, individuated soul. When someone offers their presence, they're not trying to fix, change, or possess you. They're simply holding a mirror and letting you be seen. This is love as a spiritual function, not a transaction. It's not earned, it's recognized. And if you've experienced this even once, you know how rare and sacred it is. If someone has ever shown you this kind of quiet love, honor them and honor yourself. Subscribe to this channel if you're ready to explore love, not just from the heart, but from the soul. Because in the end, love that speaks loud may stir the ego, but love that listens deeply, that transforms the soul, that's the kind Jung spent his life trying to understand. The Jungian projection test of love. There is a moment in every relationship where something hidden is revealed, not through confession, but through projection. Carl Jung believed that much of what we love and fear in others is simply a reflection of parts of ourselves that we haven't yet owned. This is the essence of projection, when the unconscious sees something familiar in another person and reacts, sometimes with attraction, sometimes with resistance. In love, projection can feel like magic. That instant pull towards someone, the unexplainable connection, the sense that you've known them forever. But what if what you're feeling isn't really about them? What if it's your own inner world, your unmet needs, your forgotten wounds, reflected back to you? Jung called love, in its early stages, an illusion built on projection. But here's the test, the one that silently reveals whether love is real. When the illusion fades, do they stay? Because eventually, they'll see who you really are, not the fantasy, not the ideal, but the full spectrum of your being. And you'll see them. You'll meet their shadows. You'll witness their fears. The mask will fall. And what happens in that moment is everything. True love survives projection. It passes the test of reality. This test is not written on paper, but written in time. It shows up when you're anxious, distant, lost. When you say something sharp without meaning to. When you're not your best self. Will they still choose you? Not out of obligation, but out of recognition. Because to love someone in their wholeness is to love both the dream and the dissonance. Jung wrote, "The most terrifying thing is to accept oneself completely. But this is also the invitation we extend to the people we love. Can you accept me? Not just when I am lovable, but when I am lost." Projection starts with admiration, but love grows through acceptance. This is why some people vanish after the honeymoon phase. They weren't really in love with you. They were in love with what you represented, a healer, a fantasy, a missing piece. But when the symbol collapsed, when reality stepped in, they left. And others, they stay, quietly, steadily, with eyes wide open. They don't pretend you're perfect. They don't deny your complexity. They simply say through their actions, "I see you, and I'm still here." That's how you know it's real. This test, the projection test, doesn't require words. It's passed or failed in the way they respond to your truth. Do they withdraw when you show your pain? Do they minimize your struggle because it reminds them of their own? Or do they hold the space, imperfectly, maybe awkwardly, but authentically? Because that's the moment the mask drops. And it's also the moment real intimacy begins. This is not romantic, it's not poetic, it's messy, it's human, and it's sacred. When we fall in love, we are not choosing a person, we are choosing a mirror. But real love only begins when we start to see clearly. When someone truly loves you, they start by seeing a reflection, but then they make the conscious decision to stay with the real person behind it. This is what Jung meant by individuation in relationship. The ability to differentiate the self from the other and still remain in connection. It's not fusion, it's not dependency, it's mutual recognition. And that kind of love is rare because it requires work, inner work, soul work. It demands that we confront our projections, take responsibility for them, and continue to show up anyway. If this is striking a chord deep within you, if you've ever watched someone love you more after seeing your truth, like this video, and share it with someone who passed the test. So the next time someone tells you they love you, don't just listen, wait, watch. See if their love survives the slow peeling away of illusion. See if their presence deepens when your mask falls. Because when someone truly loves you, they don't fall for the projection. They stay for the person behind it. The difference between attachment and authentic love. Most people mistake the ache of absence for the presence of love, but Carl Jung made a crucial distinction. Attachment is not the same as love. In fact, attachment is often love's shadow, born not from soul recognition, but from fear, unresolved wounds, and the unconscious longing to complete something missing within. To understand if someone truly loves you, or if they are simply attached to the comfort you bring, you must look not at how much they need you, but at how much they free you. Jung wrote, "Where love rules, there is no will to power, and where power predominates, their love is lacking." Attachment clings, love opens. Attachment controls, love allows. Attachment says, "I can't live without you." Love says, "I want to walk beside you, even when you walk toward your own becoming." This is where many relationships silently fracture, because what feels like devotion is often dependency. What looks like loyalty is sometimes possession. And in the eyes of the unconscious, these two forces, love and attachment, wear identical masks. But the difference reveals itself in behavior. An attached person may panic when you pull away. They may interpret your silence as a threat, your growth as abandonment. Their love becomes a response to fear, not an expression of freedom. A person who truly loves you, on the other hand, may feel discomfort when you change, but they do not punish you for it. They adjust. They learn to love not who you were, but who you are becoming. That's not just patience, that's spiritual maturity. Attachment is rooted in the ego. Love is rooted in the self. Jung believed that the self, the core of who we are, is always pushing us toward wholeness. And real love supports that journey, even when it challenges the comfort of the relationship. This is the paradox. True love doesn't just hold space for you, it holds space for your transformation. Ask yourself, does this person celebrate my becoming? Can they sit with my silence without panicking? Do they give from overflow, or are they seeking to be filled? These questions are not easy. They demand that we look at love not as romance, but as mirror work, because sometimes we are the ones attached, and sometimes we are the ones who must learn to let go. There's a story in Jungian therapy, one of many quiet moments, where a client realizes they're staying in a relationship not because they are loved, but because they are needed. Needed as a caregiver, as a rescuer, as a stabilizer. And the realization is crushing. They don't love me. They need me to keep them from falling apart. That is not your soul's job. Real love doesn't ask you to sacrifice your becoming for someone else's survival. Real love walks with you, sometimes slowly, sometimes with distance, but always in truth. And perhaps this is the deepest sign that someone truly loves you. They are not afraid of losing you if it means you'll become more of yourself. They don't manipulate. They don't guilt. They don't tether you to their comfort. They love with open hands, not because they don't care, but because they do. This kind of love is rare. It's uncomfortable. It requires ego death. But it's also the kind of love that heals what trauma fractured. It reflects back to you, not a need to be fixed, but a quiet affirmation. You are enough, and I see you becoming more. If you've ever tasted this kind of love, or if you're seeking it, subscribe now. This channel isn't about love stories, it's about soul truths. So remember, when someone clings tightly, it may feel like love, but it may just be fear wearing a mask. And when someone lets you go, and still remains emotionally connected, spiritually aligned, and quietly present, that's not detachment. That's authentic love. When love speaks without words. By now, one thing should be clear. Real love doesn't perform. It reveals. It doesn't need to shout across rooms or write sonnets in the sky. It doesn't live on timelines, relationship statuses, or declarations posted for the world to see. It lives in presence, in quiet, in depth. Carl Jung spent a lifetime exploring the unconscious, the hidden terrain of the soul, and he discovered something radical. What we call love is often an unconscious mirror, but what we feel as love when it is real is a sacred echo, something ancient recognizing itself in another. If someone truly loves you, they will do this. They will see you, even when you don't know how to be seen. They will stay, not because they need to, but because they want to witness your unfolding. And they will set you free. Not because they are indifferent, but because they trust your becoming. True love is not a promise of forever. It is a promise of presence, moment by moment, breath by breath. It passes the silent tests of projection. It survives the unraveling of illusion. And it transcends attachment, becoming something far more rare, a shared path toward wholeness. So if you've ever felt this kind of love, even briefly, honor it. And if you haven't yet, don't rush to find it. Instead, become it. As Jung said, your vision will become clear only when you can look into your own heart. Who looks outside, dreams. Who looks inside, awakes. Thank you for walking this path. Reminder to the viewer, if this video helped you see love more clearly, subscribe now. Here we don't chase fairy tales, we illuminate soul truths. Until next time, trust what is quiet, because real love never needs to shout.